family, it's Dr. Johnson and welcome to Wine Therapy's Wine Tour. Today we are here at our third stop, City Orchard, located in Lower Heights, Houston, Texas. I'm glad that you're here to experience this new place with me so that we can see what they have to offer us. So, I hope you enjoy. Hey family, it's Dr. Johnson and Happy Wine Therapy Wednesday. Today we are going to tour City Orchard, and this is in the Lower Heights of Houston, Texas. I'm excited to get this experience today, and I hope you all enjoy this video as well. Come on, let's get started. So I'm excited to come in today. This is my first time. What can you tell me about the first timers?
So first timers, just to let you know, we all do ciders here. Essentially it's an apple wine, and we ferment all the apples. We get them all from Smith Brothers Orchard, and then we do a variety of either simple ciders where it's just the apples alone or blends of them, and then we'll depend on where we're looking for it. We'll add flavorings in it, like cherry red, some Montmorency cherries added to it. We have a really favorite among all of our guests, which is Lavender Royale. It's lavender honey, and that comes locally from the Hill Country here in Texas.
Okay, good.
And then we do a few funky ones where it's kind of like we get crab apples in there to kind of get more potency. And then we have a few that are more like European style. And all of our stuff will be on the semi-dry to the drier end, more so like a wine, but all natural tannins in there.
Oh wow, that's right.
I always recommend for first timers a flight.
Okay.
So you can select any of our ciders for the flight. We do have a few that are draft and a few that are bottled. Depending on preference, some people offer it. Either they'll go through our menu on our QR codes or our rotational guide right behind me, and they'll select their own. Or we can do the house favorites, and the staff, either me or the rest of the staff, will choose four for you.
That sounds like what I want to do. I want to do the house because I want you to choose what you think is your best taste, I guess, and I want to try it. So I'm gonna do the house flight today. And I do have another question. Do y'all make your own wine?
We don't make our own wine. We import our wine from Casa Rojo. We are the only distributor for them in the entire state of Texas.
Oh, wow.
We have a selection from white wines to red wines from them. Many favorites of everyone's favorite is the Tempranillo usually, or Musso Red. It's going to be nice and light in the body, and then a bit heavier on the tannins in a way, it depends. And then we have for our whites, my favorite is our Albarino. It's got a little citrus tones to it and the mineral finish.
Okay.
But everyone's usually favorite is the Sauvignon Blanc. It's a classic.
All right, I'm excited. So let's get started. Do you want me to sit anywhere?
Yes, you can grab a seat wherever you like in here. I will grab you the flight and everything, get it all written up in on a card for you and everything.
All right, thank you so much. We'll have to see over here. Thank you. So we're about to start our tasting the flights. I wanted the house flights because I want to see what their favorite is. What can they tell me about their favorite wines here? And I'm excited. And they make their own cider. So I thought that was pretty cool. This is my first time coming to a place that makes their own cider. So I think this is awesome, a great experience. So I hope we get to see y'all out here soon. Alright guys, so we have our flights here, and I have 4 different tastings that I'm going to try. And the first one will be the Silver Tip. The second one is Miss Green, so she has to be good. Lavender Royale. And you said that was the #1 pick?
It is the #1 pick among our guests, yes.
Okay.
Super popular and on the marketplace and here.
Oh, cool, okay. And the last one is the Orchard Blend #13. So I'm excited. So tell us which one is which so we can get started.
So we usually order from 1 to 4 on there,
okay.
Left to right.
Okay, left to right, okay.
So starting off will be our Silvertip, which we call our OG cider.
Okay.
So starting right here.
Okay.
So that will be our OG cider. It's going to be a great starting point. So many of ours that are blended with the different flavors is usually a starting point with the Silvertip, and we'll add. It's a great blend of apples to where we can add different flavors. Like we have our Lavender Royale. The main base of it is the Silvertip.
Okay.
that way, and then we add lavender and honey later on, and you have to be very meticulous about it because lavender and honey in that one is like if you over lavender it, it will ruin everything. So it's very, very meticulous on that point of view.
Okay, so I have a question. Of course, when the tastings that I've done recently or in the past, they have used wine glasses. So this is new with the. So tell us why you all use these glasses.
So we use these glasses for the flight. They just fit better. They don't make. They have little wine glasses typically, but those ones are more fragile. And so we wanted to make sure that they were more sturdy and everything, and looked more in a way a rustic kind of Texan way, instead of more like a fancy kind of style. We wanted to be fancy, but not too fancy.
Gotcha. Okay, so you can kind of feel at home, like you don't have to be too uptight when you come.
Exactly. So you can use any glass at home.
Right. Okay. So we'll start with the silver tip. All right. And this is wine. And can you explain to the viewers and myself about the wine as well as cider, the difference?
So cider is going to be fermented apples. So what it is we just press the apples like same deal as if you would press white grape skins and everything to press those, and then you would later on ferment it in the tank and fermentation, adding yeast or any type of fermentation process in that. And they always give off like a natural tannins, natural sugars, and depending on how you blend it or the style you do it, you can come out with something very similar to wine. That's why we try to keep it more traditional, because cider essentially was a more wine-like product way back when it was first created, being replacement because there were regions that couldn't get the grapes or actual grape wine. And then they were like, oh, we can grow apples, so we can do the same thing.
Oh, cool. That's cool. I like that. First time hearing this story. And these are wines. So you said something about the tannin. Of course, can you explain that?
So tannins essentially is a natural bitterness, where it gives that dryness. So if you like have a red wine or a white wine, they said like people ask for, they might tell you that there's tannins in it. It's like high on tannins, low on tannins. Means essentially it will be less dry and more juicy. Many of ours are going to be on the semi-dry to the drier end, so there will be some that you'll kind of definitely get that dryness to where it's like you definitely know there are tannins part of it. There's a natural bitterness to it, to where it essentially gets your, I guess the best way to put it, enzymes, scientifically, enzymes and like saliva glands going to kind of taste more and be able to interact with it better.
Okay, all right. Well, that's a lot of knowledge for today. So let's get started. This is the silver tip, everyone, and this is the number one drink that we're going to start with the flight, and it goes from left to right. So when you hear, you know how to start your tasting off. Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, it's a great starting point for anyone that's first time here. That's why we wanted to put it on the flight. That way you kind of get a vibe of what our cider is about. Sometimes if people don't want to do the flight, we offer it in 11-ounce glasses, and kind of then later on they're like, okay, yeah, and we've converted a lot of people that are just like, oh, I'm strictly beer, or I'm not really don't know cider, I don't really like get it. We've converted a lot of people for that.
Okay, this is really, really good. It's not too sweet, it's like just enough, if that makes sense. So I really, really like this. So this is the silver tip, okay? So now my next one is Miss Green. So why did y'all call this Miss Green?
So there is a Mr. Green. So there's a Mr. and Mrs. Green.
Oh, wow.
So the Mr. Green is 100% Rhode Island greening apple, and it's the same concept with the Mrs. Green. We just dry hop it with Citra hops added to it. So it's the only other ingredient added to it. So it's kind of almost like a best way to put it for the beer drinkers, an IPA kind of cider, where it's got that hop tones to it. And using Citra, it adds a little citric vibe to it to kind of take away the tartness of the greening apple and add a bit more kind of like slight sweetness in a way.
All right, so I'm excited to try Miss Green.
Yeah, it's our staff's favorite.
Really?
All the
It's the staff's favorite?
Yeah, the
Okay.
staffs love it. So.
I know. This is good.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is really good.
A lot of people, when they hear like the top, they're like, and then once you get to try it, it's not going to be like an IPA where it's like you're definitely getting the bitters on it. And so the actual hops are going to bring out a little bit of sweetness of the apple.
It's really, really good. I like that. Good taste. Now, the third one, this is the Guess Who Comes In. This is like their number one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we've had a lot of people come to our tap room for this one.
Oh, okay. So this is Lavender.
Lavender Royale, yes ma'am.
All right. Number 3. It's smooth.
Oh yeah.
It's really, really smooth. And you can like actually smell it. Lavender, that's real cool.
Yeah.
Lavender is like one of my favorite smells. So I really like it. It is so smooth. It's not as what I would say. It doesn't have like as much tangy.
It doesn't. No, so the honey that we add to it as well, because lavender and honey infused, brings a little bit more sweetness and mellows out the lavender to where you can definitely get it on the nose with it, and then still a slight taste of it. This was our first like actual full-on sweet cider, and because we never like to try to overpower the apples in them, and I think that from our production point, this is one of our best works we've ever done, because it is, like I said previously, it is so meticulous with the lavender, because lavender is such a sensitive flower. Because you can end up becoming, they make it in soap, and so you don't want to make the nose too potent of lavender. You want it nice and mellow, and I think it's one of our best ones that they've produced, because he showed the skill of what they have.
And it was just enough lavender, like it didn't overpower me, like you were saying. Sometimes lavender can overpower a drink, but it didn't. It was just enough, very smooth. It was really, really smooth. Like it felt good actually. Like going down, it was like it felt really, really good, very smooth. And so this is the number 4 is Orchard Blend number 13. So how many Orchard blends do you have?
So we do have, we essentially have 1 through 13. Some of them were smaller batch. On tap, we have Orchard Blend 10, 11, and 12. And 13 was bottle conditioned, and it was also a smaller batch. So this one, they can purchase in the bottle, or they can purchase a glass of it. This one is honestly like, if 11 and 12 got together, and like Mr. and Mrs. have like their two, like 11 and 12 got together, and it's kind of like a blend of two, where it's like it's got a bit of fun to it, but it's nice and light, and more almost like an English style cider, where it's still prominent and it's not like overly powered. So because we have, when we talk about where it's like a funky cider, usually you'll definitely have it to where it's like more like the alcohol feels like it's hitting you. In reality, it's more just the apple itself. Like you'll be able to taste the apple on a natural level.
Okay. Let me try it. This is Orchard Blend number 13, number 4. It's a different taste. It's different. I'm trying to see what do I taste. You can taste like different.
That's in
something, or like Kimberly. I don't know what I'm tasting. I can't, actually pick out what it is.
Well, that's the amazing thing about the Orchard blends, is essentially what it causes is everyone's taste buds to kind of react differently. Like when we initially had, like, say, Orchard Blend 11, our description has like, there's grapefruit on it. There's no grapefruit in it. However, when I've tasted it, I've kind of had more like a citric vibe, but nothing like grapefruit like. And then other people are like, I don't really. It really sparks the taste buds.
Yes.
And because it's that natural flavor, it's like you're trying to figure out what's going on, and essentially it's going to cause your. It's essentially just kind of like causing your mind to race, kind of be like you just did. You're like, I don't know what I'm tasting. I'm like, you get more of like a natural apple tone, so where it's like, what kind of apple is it? Isn't an apple in here?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little wild cards.
No, I like the mystery. I call this a mystery drink. I like that actually. It's pretty cool. So we've done tasting of 4 flights, and how many flights do you all offer? Like, what's the most?
So for our, we offer 2 different types of flights. We do make our own beer here as well.
Oh, wow.
So we offer a beer option flight, and then we offer the cider flight. When it comes to the cider flight, you can choose any of our ciders we have on tap. And once we get, we'll create those. So we do essentially 1 flight, 2 flights, but it gives you a chance to, like, if you come back up and you're like, hey, can I like get another flight? You can order another 4 different ones and give you a chance to try all of them. So we have 10 ciders in total right now that you can add to the flights.
Oh wow, okay. And so I see y'all outside. You all have like what would you call this? Like the circle?
Oh, the labyrinth.
What
Yes,
is it?
the Labyrinth.
Labyrinth, okay. And that's not a food, so it's made like a food truck. It's not a food truck. What is that?
So it is technically a food truck. It is our kitchen right now. We do all the amazing like food making that we have, like our like everyone always knows us for our fries, our pommes frites.
Oh, we're gonna have to get that before we go.
And then now our new chef Ryan, he's done amazing with these little pork sliders that we have, and yeah, everyone loves it. Those are the huge popular item. It used to be our city burger, and he made this new item. Everyone's like, "Yep, no, those are the new ones."
I'm gonna have to try it out before I leave. So, if I'm outside in the Labyrinth, if I'm outside in that, can I order from the truck, or do we just order?
So you would come up to the bar and order from the staff. Everything is done through the bar service now. And then what we'll have is give you a number, and they'll come around, kind of almost like a beer hall style, where you'll order from the bartenders, and then there'll be a food runner to bring you out your food.
Okay. And how long has this place been open?
We've been open for 2 years now.
2 years.
Yes.
Oh wow. And it's really, really nice, different. I actually love the ambiance. It's nice. I love it. So, is there anything else that you want to share about City that I did maybe had to ask?
I mean, we have. Let's see. I think we've almost covered everything. I know, we're coming up with a few new ciders. Hopefully by the middle of February, end of February, we'll have our strawberry basil. We've got that going. It's going to be another kind of like mildly sweet, mildly dry type of cider, something a little bit different. And then we're in the process of finishing up our ice cider, our sweet solstice, which is very popular. It's going to be a similar process to ice wine, but then we'll be on the cider front. This one's going to be made with 100% Honeycrisp apples, and so it's going to be very sharp sweetness. Definitely a dessert style type of cider.
Okay, I get you on that. Okay.
Yeah, and that one, it's one of those ones like you nice to finish with. Have a nice, you can sometimes even have it with just a nice meal.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
And I see you all do sell. I see a lot of you all's bottles here, so you do sell it here. Like we can come here and buy a bottle.
Yes, we sell different items in 4-packs or in 750 milliliter bottles. Most of our ciders are in 4-packs because we ship them out to storefronts, and then some of those also go out to the storefront. The bottle ones go out to storefronts. Typically, we try to keep the bottle ones here. That way, the shelf space, all that.
Gotcha. It's really nice. I have enjoyed my experience here. You all were very hospitable. I enjoyed you getting me out from Houston today, and I hope that our viewers will come out. That's the goal, when you come out to kind of try different wines, try different places here in Houston. So I really appreciate you, and I can't say enough how much I'm starting to like cider. It's my first time with the cider, so I'm actually really liking it right now.
We convert a lot of people. Many people typically understand the more mainstream ciders of Austin East, Angry Orchard, Reds, I think is still around. And everyone knows them, and then they forget about those little guys that try to do a traditional style.
Oh, yeah. So this is the traditional style. So we want to see the traditional. We want to come here where it's made. So, and I think that this is your brewing room behind us.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything we do is made right behind us, right here. We have our 3 tanks right now. I believe they're all full. Yes, they all should be full right now. And then we have a few smaller tanks in the back, which is where we do all like the flavor additions if need be, and then carving. And then way in the back, in a separate room, so we can maintain a gluten-free status. Okay. That's where we brew our beer. Okay. So we keep the beer in a separate, entirely room, closed off, sealed, so we can maintain our ciders to be gluten-free.
Oh wow, cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's really huge. This is like the biggest one I've seen in a building where they do the wine and do everything there. So thank you. But thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I hope to come back again. Yeah. All right, thank you.
It is pretty warm.
It is. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, family. So I have my fries because I was not leaving without my fries, and I do also have the slider. So I'm excited. this was our third stop on the wine tour, so I hope you all enjoy City Orchard. It was amazing experience, and actually me and the general manager talked for a long time, just having a conversation. I thought that was great because sometimes we don't actually get to have those connections with the owners, so it was pretty good. So I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see y'all out here soon.